Okay, welcome to back to music theory. And I am ashamed to admit this is like the third time I've done this video and something's gone wrong every time. Mr. Pulliam, get your act together. Okay, we're going to get back into music theory and look at major scales and what makes a major scale a major scale. And we're going to start a little bit of ear training so you start being able to recognize things when you hear them. So you go to classroom. And I am going to go to Guitar 2. It doesn't matter. It will be in your classroom if you need it. And it's actually already there. I'm going to go to musictheory.net up here in the resources up here at the top. And there's the link. And it takes us to lessons. And the lesson that we're going to go to is the major scale. But before we get into the major scale, we need something else. We need a tool. So we're going to go to tools, and the tool that we need is the pop-up piano. So we're going to go to pop-up piano. We're going to get the pop-up piano. I'm going to drag it down here. Now then, before I pull this up, don't judge me. It's my desktop. It's not your desktop. My desktop's messy. Don't worry about it. It's not yours. You don't have to clean it. You don't have to use it. It's mine. So it's like somebody going to the Biltmore house and complaining about how ridiculously huge it is. What's their problem? They don't have to vacuum it, so just enjoy it. Okay, now then we have the pop-up piano. There is another piano I like better, but it takes up the whole screen, and I'll introduce it to you sometime, but that you can use it for practice when we get a little further into this. But for now, we'll use pop-up piano. That's under the tool section of musictheory.net, and I have done it like this so we can see our lesson and this piano at the same time. No. Our lesson, like I said, so we can see our lesson and this piano at the same time. I went to the major scale lesson. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this piano, but first I'm going to put it up over here so you don't get focused on that text back there. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay, here we are, back on pop-up piano. This is just a part of a piano. It's actually like less than half of a piano keyboard. I think this is 35 keys. You're more than welcome to count them if you want to and tell me I'm wrong, because I probably am. But I know that a full-size 88-key piano keyboard has a couple more octaves below this and a couple more octaves above this. This is middle C. That is the C closest to the center of a piano. And when you sit down at a piano, that's about where it is. It's a little more toward the left-hand end of the piano as you're facing it. So this is middle C or C4. You need to start learning the numbers of the notes, the scientific notation of the pitches, but that's C4. This is C3. Now, chorus people, you're used to hearing this. If I played this, I sing it down here. Okay. Do, re, mi, re, do, si, D, E, D, C. And I do that because if I sing it up here, one, it gets tiring for me because this is getting up to the top of my range, and it takes a lot of energy and a lot of concentration for me to sing well up here. And I tend to get kind of loud when I sing up in here, and it would put people through the wall. So I can sing softly up here, but it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of concentration. But I can sing really low, and that's lots of fun. And especially if I'm playing If I'm playing a soprano or alto part, then I sing it down here. And the sopranos and altos are used to hear me. When I play a baritone part, I sing the actual pitches. Down in here because their parts lie right in here mostly. Remember that every key on the piano is 1/2 step away from the adjacent key. 1/2 step away from the adjacent key. Doesn't matter what color the key is. The only reason they're black and white is to make it easier to tell them apart. The only reason that this space is right here and this space is right here is so that you know where you are on a keyboard. Traditionally, they're black and white because back in the good old bad old days, the white keys were indeed made out of ivory and the black keys were made out of ebony, just like the song says, ebony and ivory. Yeah, Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Paul McCartney of the Beatles and Michael Jackson of, well, Michael Jackson. Actually of the Jackson 5. So anyway, they were indeed made out of ebony and ivory. Now they're made out of plastic and plastic. You could probably still find pianos that have ebony up here, but no more ivory. Why? Because ivory trade is now illegal because people were poaching elephants just for their tusks, and that is bad. So there are even special there's special laws that have to be followed if you sell a piano that has ivory keys on it, I believe. But I digress. So let's get back to this. So half step, half step, half step, half step, half step, half step, half step. You get it, right? Half step between each key. Now, if you skip a key, any key, you have a whole step. Whole step. Now to skip a key, where will I end up? Right, I skipped that key. Skip that F. Skip a key, I'll skip that G right there. Skip another key. I'm going to go to here. Now this is going to a pitch that is 1/2 step down from where I started, from a B flat down to an A. Okay, there's a whole step, half step, whole step. There you go. You can practice with it. Start training your ear to be able to recognize whole steps and half steps. Half steps. Well, let me do it right here. Jaws, the Jaws theme. Okay, Jaws theme. Yeah, cheesy, but yeah. Now, if you can go, Mr. Pulliam, that's not the pitch that the Jaws theme starts on, and you didn't research it or anything like that. It's like you've actually heard the theme to Jaws once, and when I sang it just then, you go, oh, that's not the right pitch. That's not the right note. It's this, and you just pull that note out of your head. Then you come talk to me because you might have perfect pitch, and that is a blessing and a curse. Whole steps. Whole steps, it makes you want to sing a major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do. Do, a deer. Do, a deer. Do, re, mi. So, whole whole step, half step. Now, let me slide this down and we're going to talk about what makes up a major scale. A scale is a selection of certain notes within an octave. An octave is, whoops, that wasn't an octave, that was unison. That's an octave. That's an octave. That's an octave. That's an octave. They're 12 steps apart. You go to a piano and you go, oh, this key right here. You don't even have to know that it's an A, which it is. If I find a group of 3 black keys, then the white key that's right here in relationship to those 3 black keys, and find the same key up here, that's an octave. The black key that's at the top of this group of 3, and that one, an octave. See how it works? It's an octave. No big mystery. They have the same note name. They are not the same pitch, but they are the same note name. Okay, so a major scale has a pattern. It has a formula. And here is its formula. The W's represent whole steps. H's represent half steps. Whole, whole, half. Whole, 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 half. Whole, half. Whole, half. Let's build a C major scale. Our starting note will be C. So there it is. There it is, C. We're going to go up a whole step. See, here's C. We'll go up a whole step to D. From the C, we'll take a whole step to D, right there. And right there it is on the keyboard. C, D. From D, we'll take another whole step to E. From D to E. From D to E, whole step, D to E. Then we'll go up a half step to F. From E to F. From E to F. From E to F. From F, we go to G. From F to G. From F to G. Okay. From G to A, that's a whole step. G to A. G to A. Then A to B. A up to B, the red note's B. A, B. And then finally, we will have a half step from B to C. From B to C. Okay, so a C major scale is the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You need to know that for the next quiz. C major scale, if I say, which of these are the notes of a C major scale in the correct order, you would select the answer that said C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Or you would choose the correct letter that filled in the blank. Okay? I might give you 3 different pictures of notes on a staff. Say, which of these is a C major scale? And you would pick the correct one. I might give you this whole diagram and leave out that. Put an X right there. For this to be a C major scale, the step with an X, the interval with an X, would need to be what? You would select whole step or half step. Or maybe different combinations of that. I might ask you X1 and X2, and you'd have to tell me that X1 is a whole step and X2 would be a half step. So you need to know how to spell it with note names. You need to know how to spell it on a staff. You need to know the pitches on the staff from C. You need to recognize from C up to A, the one ledger line above it. So C all the way up to A, that's not shown here. And you need to be able to recognize by ear half steps and whole steps. And there's a place that you can practice that on musictheory.net. You can practice the whole steps and half steps right there on that pop-up keyboard on your own. And there's some practice we can do on musictheory.net. I will do a separate video about that and get it posted. But for now, this is it. There's not a handout. Your website here is the handout. If you want to print it, you're more than welcome to highlight the parts and print. You do not need to go any farther than right there because it says next we build the E-flat major scale. No, we're not going to build the E-flat major scale. We will build an F major scale, and I'll tell you why when we get there. Because the scales are built in a particular order, and it's especially important to guitar players that we learn those steps in a particular order because there's a pattern, and it will be easier for everyone else to learn those in the pattern. There's a reason for it. And if you learn the reason for it, you'll go, oh, I see, I understand. So that's it. That's it. Let's plan on a quiz next week. Hopefully, Musical Theater 1, folks, you can get those Broadway things taken care of this week, those Edpuzzle videos. That Broadway American Music is a really important video series that we watch. Someone should be able to see them. I would rather not assign them to you on YouTube and then just give you a quiz over it when we're finished. I think you would rather do the Edpuzzles. So we think we have that figured out, and I've posted something about it in Classroom. All right. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.